All right, Shalom. I'd like to start up with saying, Call Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Harikakwadash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostle, the great millstone of my elder Heroine as well. Salutations to the argument of pushing the truth, sincerity, and truth. And peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right, I'm Khanak Shan by Yashral from the Lions Den of Yashral camp. This is a Lions Den PSA spiritual hydration type of deal. Lord willing is us and edify and serve the purpose for the hopefully elect, the ones that truly believe in the name of Yahweh Shemel Oshai. All right. So I want to start out by saying this, us as men and women of the Lord, we go through constant struggles every day, right? And sometimes these struggles can take a toll on us, right? And as it does, it can kind of weigh us down or how people say it, make our vibration low. So we got to be mindful of that, right? And we stay in the spirit and pray to lift ourselves up because we don't know how our negative energy or our low vibration can affect others. It's like individuals that always come around you, and every time they call you, they sad. Now you feeling they sadness, you know what I'm saying? And it's weighing heavy on you because you don't want that person to be sad, but sometimes people are just looking for attention, right? And sometimes you have what they call it, spirit suckers or spirit drainers or spirit whatever, um, or they only come around you or only call you when they got negative shit going on to talk about it, and now they don't weighed all that negative energy on you, and when they get off the phone with you, now they happy, they good again. Now you got to get your mind back right because of all the bullshit they don't put it, you know what I'm saying, negative energy they don't throw on you. So we gotta be mindful, like what spirit we in when we come around people. Yeah, the scripture says, "Bear you one another's each burdens," but you know, sometimes they don't even be burdens. You know, like I'm the type of person. Don't come around me breathing all hard. Like, oh. To me, that means you ain't ready to talk. I'm not gonna ask you what's going on. You can easily say, "Hey, man, come talk about something," and we can build off that to get you out of that. But I'm not gonna sit here and just listen to you just complain and complain and complain or have attitudes and things like that. Because now, let's say I'm driving home from work and I get a call, somebody's acting negative or whatever, whatnot, and nothing positive comes out of that situation. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna bring that negative energy that they gave me into my house, or vice versa. Women, you know, women of the Lord dealing with your man. You know, if you have something on your mind or something like that, express that to that man. You know, let them know what's going on, why you feel a certain way, and be ready for what the response is, as long as it's righteous and spiritual, you know. Because like a man wondering what's going on with somebody that's close to him all the time, like you women be the closest thing to the men of the Lord. Look at Adam. The devil knew what to attack to get to Adam. You know, I used to always wonder why the elder would be mindful about the people that he would allow to be close to him, because now I understand. Because little do we know, when we get close to people that are in the truth, especially like their placement in the truth, we become targets we can become targets of the devil to afflict that person. See what I'm saying? Peter was a potential target. Matter of fact, let's get that. Let's get that. Autumn, we got to be mindful of what spirit and what energy we're in, being in this truth, and especially when we're around the brotherhood, around our families, or whatever, because we can be easily become targets to afflict the ones that the devil is really trying to get after. You know, um, this is Luke 22:31. It says, "And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan has desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. See that? That's what we're supposed to do. Strengthen the brethren. He knew Peter was going to be attacked by the devil. See that? He knew Peter was going to be attacked by the devil. And he said unto him, Lord, I am ready to go with thee both into prison and to death. See that? He didn't understand. He wasn't in the right spirit. He was trying to tell Yahweh Shai that, you know what I'm saying? Well, no, that's not. That's one of them. Let me get the other one. Hold on. Yeah, this is a Matthew 16. All right, Matthew 16 and 23. No, Matthew 16 and 20 says, Then charged he his disciples that they should tell no man that Yahushua was the anointed, Hamashiach. From the time forth began Yahushua to show unto his disciples how that he must go into Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and the chief priests and the scribes, and be killed, and be raised again the third day. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him. See that? Peter wasn't in the right spirit. Be it far from thee, Lord. It shall not be unto thee. Right. This is a different scenario. But Peter was deceived. He didn't understand what the Lord was telling him he had to go through. He said, but he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me, for thou servest not the things that be of Yahweh, but the things that be of man. See that? Peter was in a carnal state of mind at that time, and the Lord had to rebuke him. That's why we always have to be mindful of the state of mind that we're in when we're around each other. We can't be coming around each other all the time with negative energy. You know, women, you can't be having attitudes all the time with your man and expecting him to figure out what the fuck's going on. Open your fucking mouth. Closed mouth don't get fed. Brothers, if you have issues that you want to reconcile, talk to people. Let's get a council together. You know, we have to be very mindful of the state of mind that we're in when we're around each other, because our attitude or our negative energy could rub off on others and affect others in a negative way. Then you begin to bear the burdens of brothers that don't even want to bear their own burdens. That's not fair. That's not fair. Misery loves company, but it should not be a necessity to be miserable. We don't have to be miserable out here. Yes, it's a sorrowful feeling or journey being a man of the Lord. But if we truly understand the blissfulness behind it, we're gonna have some good days and bad days. But damn, we should have more good than bad come to when it comes to the spirit. Every day that we wake up to help push the word of Yahweh by Shem Shai should be a good day, regardless of what we go through. See, we sometimes forget, like the elder spoke of a word, gratitude, this past weekend. Sometimes forget the things that we should be grateful for. How did he put it? He said, well, imagine Adam's first time taking a breath or feeling his heartbeat. First thing he probably said was, thank you. You know? So now, with that being said, if we don't understand what vibration or what energy we in at times, we might need to isolate ourselves and make sure we get our mind right. We should be doing that anyway, you know, because this is one body. If any part of the body is infected, it's the whole thing is sick. So we got to make sure we stay pure, and stay healed through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. So the Lord had to rebuke Peter at that time, man. All right. And it says, Luke 22 and 33 said, this is Peter, right? Once again, different situation, I think. He said, he said unto him, Lord, I am ready to go with thee both into prison and to death. And he said, I tell thee, Peter, the cock shall not crow this day before that thou shalt shall thrice deny. Psalms 133, 1, it says, behold, how good and how pleasant is it for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like a precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garment, as the dew of Haran, as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. And that's what we're dealing with, man. We're dealing with that pure oil, that living water. So that's how we're unified together through the Spirit. You see that? Um, all right. This is Ecclesiastes 4:9. It says, two are better than one. Right. That's why we were able to come to one another. All right, sorry about that. This is Sirach 3:31. It says, and he that requiet requitteth good return is mindful of that which may come hereafter. And when he falleth, he shall find a stay, meaning he will have something to lean on. See that? When you put out good energy, right? When you're helping other brothers out, when you're, you know what I'm saying, being mindful of the spirit that you're in, when you when it when you turn around and maybe, you know, um be in that situation, you'll have something to stay upon. You know what I'm saying? Meaning to lean. So that's why we always have to be mindful of what energy we're in. We're all gonna go through shit. We're all gonna have to lean upon each other to help go through this shit. But be mindful of negative people that are always negative, and they want to dump all that negative energy on you, and they're not looking for a positive solution. They just want to sulk and complain about shit all the time. Then they want to drain your energy, and then when you're all drained out, they happy. It's not how it's supposed to work, man. We're supposed to be able to lean upon each other to, you know what I'm saying, to lift each other up, not lean upon somebody so you can weigh them down. So now they leaning. It's just, some things don't make sense that people do sometimes, man. Um, where is it? This is Sirach 6 and 8. It says, "For some man is a friend for his own occasion and will not abide in the day of trouble." Right? You know. So they find occasion to lean upon you. Then when it's time for you to return the paper and lean upon them, you know, they ain't nowhere to be found. Sometimes people are only around for their own occasion. Then when it's time for that to be reciprocated, they're not there. Let's get down to verse 14. It says, "A faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that has found such and one has found a treasure." Right. So there's treasures and faithful friends, ones that are able to lift us up when we're down. But you know what I'm saying? And sometimes people don't want to be lifted up though. So we gotta be mindful of those individuals, you know, and we gotta be mindful of what the spirit that we're in, you know. You gotta always be mindful of the spirit that we're in when we're around people, man. Because it affects the whole body. All right. So Ephesians 4:1, it says, "I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that you walk worthy to the vocation wherewith ye are called, with all lowliness and meekness," meaning being humble. That doesn't mean you have to hold your head down, but humbling is doing this work. "With long suffering and forbearing one another in love." We forbear one another in love. We see somebody down, we lift them up according to the Spirit. That's if they want to be lifted up. It says endeavoring to keep the unity of the spirit in the bond of peace. See that? Endeavoring to keep the unity of the spirit. What spirit? The Holy Spirit, the spirit of Yahweh by Shem Shai. That's how we're bonded together. That endeavoring means to give diligence to keep the unity of the spirit in the bond of peace. It says, this is one body and one spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling, right? So we have to keep that, make sure we're staying in that one spirit to continue to be a part of the body. Because anything that's not in the likeness of that spirit, the body will detach itself from it. You see that? It says, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one power and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Yahweh Shai. See that? So we're all imperfect, so we needed the grace to help build and fortify the body correctly through the Spirit. Wherefore he said, he when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. It says, now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descend first into the lower parts of the earth? It says, what he that descended is the same also that ascended up for above all heavens, that ful- he might fill all things. And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and some teachers, right? He gave everybody a measure according to, you know what I'm saying, their gifts, their talents, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Yahweh Shai, right? So yeah, some of us have different gifts than others, and some of us might not be good at cheering people up. Some of us might only be good at rebuking. Some of us might be good listeners. Some of us might be good eloquent speakers that could be motivational speakers. Everybody has a different attribute when it comes to the body of Yahweh by Shem Shai. But we got to make sure we're staying in that spirit, especially when we're around others. Because just like how Peter got out of pocket a little bit, and the Lord had to rebuke him. He said, "Get thee behind thee, Satan." He said, you ain't operating after, you know what I'm saying, after the manner of the will of the Father right now. That's what he told Peter, you know. It says, till we all, verse 13, it said, till we all come into the unity of the faith and the knowledge of the Son of Yahweh, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. We just always must remain in that spirit. It's not easy, because we're trying to maintain in that spirit. There's going to be so many things that are going to try to afflict us. And if the devil sees he can't get through to us, he will go to the closest thing to us. That's like how he did with Peter. You see that? Yahweh Shai said, yo, the devil wants to sip you like wheat. Satan want to sip you like wheat. All right. So it says, till we all come into the unity. Wait, how far do I want to go? Let me see. Yes, I think that was the point. Because I'm not necessarily talking about quarrels against one another, but I'm just saying we need to be mindful of the energy we're in when we're around each other. And we want to always try to stay cleansed in the spirit, man. Because we don't never know how we can negatively affect somebody else. And it says, woe to them that offend those little ones. But offenses must come, but woe to those offenses come. All right. So yeah, man, check your energy, man. Check your energy, especially when you're around the brethren. Same thing when you're in the household, man. Scripture says for the men, be not a lion in thy own house. Right? It's reversed for the women also. If you have issues going on with you, you need to speak about it. right? It's not up to a man to sit there and try to guess what's going on in your mind. I guarantee if you leave it a man to draw the conclusion, it's not going to go in your favor. I promise you that. So the best thing to do is speak about it. People in the camps, you in the camp. If you feel like there's certain issues that that need to be talked about, bring it to the forefront. Don't go to talking about it amongst brothers like no, because that can create leaven. So we always got to be mindful and make sure we always in the spirit, man. Check your energy, check your energy, check your energy. All right, Lord willing, this lesson to edify and to serve his purpose for the hopeful elect, the ones that truly believe in the name Yahweh Shemal Shai. With that, like I said, call Halayim La Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shai, by Shem Harakak Radash, my mouth. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone of my elder Herwan as well. Salutations to the pushing the truth, sincerity, truth, and peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name Yahweh Shemal Shai. Shalom.